Love is but a song we sing, fear is the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make an angel cry. Though the bird is on the wing, you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, we shall surely pass. When the one that left us here turns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your sister. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both, it's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your sister. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now, right now, right now.
Wow. Thank you very much, Barbara. That's lovely. For everyone, this is Barbara Whitney, our music director. Um, she's a wonderful lady, has a wonderful voice. Thank you so much, Barbara, for being with us. I'd like to welcome everyone to Unity of the Seacoast Sunday service, and welcome to any new listeners. You might all notice that today we're having service remotely again. We had been having service from the McConnell Center, and we will again. But today it's remote because Tom and his lovely wife, Casey, unfortunately got COVID. Tom's here today, but we wanted to make it easier for him, and he's at home. So he'll be speaking from his home. I'd like to say today's daily word. The daily word today is gratitude. Gratitude is my natural state of mind. What joy it is to feel gratitude rising from my heart and filling my mind. Feeling grateful makes me aware of all encompassing presence of God, including the divine within me. When I live from my spiritual nature, gratitude becomes the song of my heart. I don't need to wait for a reason to feel grateful. When I live an attitude of gratitude, I find the good in every situation. The blessing that can come from any adversity and the presence of God in every aspect of life. Practicing gratitude opens my eyes to the blessings that are present and opens my heart to receive even more. I give thanks for unlimited world, blissful, peaceful, and perfect wholeness. Again, the daily word is gratitude. Psalm 95:2. Let us come into the presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise. Gratitude. Gratitude is my natural state of mind. Now I'd like to say our mission statement, and it'll be scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can say it along with me if you like. We are a loving, nurturing community dedicated to being a positive path to spiritual living, to awaken oneness with God within us all. Please feel free to check out our website. We update our website regularly, and there are often new things on it to let you know what's happening in upcoming services or things we're doing in between the services. We also have a donate button on the website, so feel free to donate to us if you feel like you're getting nurtured by Tom and the rest of us. Please feel free to donate time and your treasures. If you want to send us a check, our mailing address is Unity of the Seacoast, McConnell Center, Suite 246, 61 Locust Street, Dover, New Hampshire, 03820. And just as a reminder, our own Charlie Richard does a meditation group on the first Monday of the month at 7 p.m. It's a wonderful place to kind of wind down from your day and get ready for your evening. If you don't know already, we broadcast both through Facebook, and we also broadcast through YouTube. So you can look up our YouTube channel. It may not, the service doesn't usually come up as the first service that you see. You just have to look through to find the current service that's going on. On September 11th, Tom will be doing a service on using what we know. It will be a service reflecting on the individual gifts used to save the Thailand boy soccer team after they were trapped in an underground cave. It'll be followed by a watch party of 13 lives that's about their being saved, and it was filmed by Ron Howard. So that just seems like it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful, inspiring service. And I'm so glad that Tom's doing it on September 11th. I think it's a time to think and reflect and remember people who died during September 11th, but also remember the people who saved so many. Now I'd like to do a practice that we do weekly called Namaste. Namaste is a Sanskrit word, and as many as you know, it means the Christ in me sees and honors the Christ in you. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste, everyone.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon only light we see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon shall crumble and fall, all the mountains shall tumble in the sea. I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me.
That song always makes me feel joy. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank
You do a lovely job. Now I'd like to introduce our speaker, Tom. I'm not going to do a long introduction because I think everybody knows Tom, unless we have a new visitor. And if you are, you'll get to know Tom as we go along. He's a lovely man. This morning I was thinking, my friend Lynn Rashad always says, that there's doers in the world and that there's thinkers. And Tom is a doer and a thinker. And we're so grateful to have him. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going. Here he is with COVID, and he says, well, this isn't so bad. So he's got a great attitude. He's very, very committed to unity of the Seacoast and unity in general. And I feel grateful every day to have him in my life, and Casey. Thank you so much, Tom, for coming today. I know you're tired, so we'll get through this.
We will get through this. Tracy, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Barbara, again, what song choices? Part of my talk has to do with smiling. And Stand By Me always touches my heart. You nail it every week. I say it every week, and I probably always say it. So I thank you both.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. Welcome. Yep, I have tested positive for COVID, as did Casey. We're both feeling pretty good. To be honest, thank God it's today and not 2 years ago, because it could have been a mess. We got the monoclonal antibody injection on Friday, and they said that would kick in about 36 to 48 hours, and it did. I feel a lot better. Still get tired, but that's just the way it goes. I can deal with tiredness. But it made me rethink what we were doing. I take it for granted a little bit, but I want you to know at church, we haven't taken it for granted, which is why we're doing this virtual. But each week, Charlie cleans and goes in there, and I also go in there during the week, and I clean anything that our hands may touch. I spray over the microphone so those germs will get killed. We wipe down stuff. We do our best. And when you come into the service, you will notice that there is a table just as you walk into the building. It has individual tissues. Take those as you need those for the service, whatever. We have individual hand wipes. We have masks. We want to make sure everybody is safe. And if you feel like you might not be, watch us virtually. Each week we talk about hugging, and should we hold hands and do the namaste and all that. And we've held off on that up to this point. And we don't know when we'll get back to that. And at some point, I'd like everyone's input. But while things are still running, and COVID is not the deadly thing it was before, though it still affects and can be that, we're just not at that comfortable place where we feel like we should add to it. So, folks, use your common sense. You know, and we know when we let our guards down. And I let my guards down, and I caught it. So, but again, I'm doing well. Casey's doing well. Moments where we sleep way too much, and moments where we feel good. But I've gotten out, and I've gotten to ride the motorcycle. We've walked around trails and done things. So we're doing well. Except for that. Today's talk is about energy, and I kind of fits in with the COVID because it hasn't diminished my internal energy, my wholeness, my spirit. Our energy is what we carry around within us and what we let out. Tracy had called it at one point, what leaks out. What leaks out is in our words and in our gifts. When we are living in abundance and sharing with the world, or even when we're holding tight to what the world offers us and what we don't allow to leak out. Our energy precedes us and lingers, both positive and negative. I'm going to start with the wedding last week. Katie's mom stood at the front of the room in her yellow dress. This dress was picked specifically for this day. She'd been planning this day since her daughter's birth. Mothers do this. And she toasted the couple, and her toast was full of love, and it struck me. But what struck me most was not the toast that was geared toward her daughter or toward my son. She turned to her ex-husband's new wife. And I don't know necessarily new, but, next wife. And thanked her for being a positive influence in her children's lives. That was energy. Mother shapes their kids. They allow the kid to dream from birth. Now, Casey's not the type to grab the mic, but both women set the energy that they had created, and they set that energy to manifest in their children. Don't get me wrong, fathers do their part, but fathers step back. They have their hobbies and interests. They get a little self-focused, more so than the mother. Mother sets the energy and guides. And it makes sense because that's what develops in the womb, long before the sunlight ever touches the child's skin. We miracle workers have to stick together. This is a line from the book Illusions, The Adventures of a Reluctant Messiah. It's by Richard Bach, the same person who wrote Jonathan Livingston Seagull. He's speaking about each of us being a miracle worker, that we can set unlimited possibilities for ourselves and for others. And oftentimes we don't accept that about ourselves, but we let it happen in our dreams. But when we understand that we can do this, when we understand that everything we do could have been considered a miracle at some point, we can accept that anything and everything is the possibility of a miracle. And more, anything is possible. And that's the energy that we need to carry with us. And when we do this, we realize that we are each miracle workers. To make someone smile, to raise another in any moment is a dream come true. You have the ability to make dreams come true. A child tells you of a dream and you smile back and you encourage the child. You've now just made this dream become possible. Both Casey and Sarah did this with their children. Bo and Katie dreamt of the possibility of the right person for them, a person who sees them complete and allows each one to be themselves. There's no veil between them. So what they see is what they get, and that is something wonderful, my friends. There is hope and love, and hope and love keeps us moving forward. And what a great concept we have to work with. Mothers are the first miracle workers. They begin the dream. They begin the energy. But being a miracle worker is something that is within us all. Offer a smile and see what happens. Listen to someone and see what happens. Every dream that has come to fruition has come because people allowed others to dream. They allowed them to believe in themselves. Believe in someone, believe in everyone, and see what manifests in our world. A couple months ago, I talked about turning the other cheek and what it means in our lives. And I mentioned a line from Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? This verse is telling us to look at our present reality with a healthy eye. And what we will see will be interpreted as healthy and whole and in a positive light. But when we see the world with an unhealthy light, our present reality will seem dark, unhealthy, and lacking. We carry our energy with us on the inside, but also on the outside as well. If you want simple proof of this, try smiling on your next phone call and see how that changes the tone of the call. Energy is something that we respond to because we are all made up of energy. And we're made up of all the connections that energy emanates. When I get stressed, it's hard for me to contain and refocus that energy. And we all do this from time to time. For me, I get my triggers. It's not being able to physically keep up with what I put on my plate or my to-do list. We each have triggers. Some people are great at masking their negative energies. But let's face it, we all succumb to the negative now and then. But when we emanate a positive flow, or quite simply, we're in a good mood, it shows. It affects our day and the outcome of our day. And people pick up on that energy. Like attracts like. Thoughts held in mind bring about in kind. Do you ever wake up and something hits you adversely and you think, great, this day is going to stink. And then it does. You've cast that negative energy over the rest of the day. Yet we really know that morning incident doesn't have to affect the rest of the day. In fact, most things that affect our mood are really inconveniences. I think of the things that have altered my mood, putting a bumper on the car and it's not lining up, no cream for my coffee. Heck, I've gotten upset when I pull up to an ATM and someone is in front of me. I think, I don't got time to wait for instant cash. So I have to refocus myself by asking myself, will this matter at the end of the day? Will this matter in a month? It usually won't matter. But I've let that trigger rob me of my present. So I adjust. When we give power to the negative, we give power. We give away our power to live in the moment. And we alter our present reality. Just so you know, Jesus went through this as well. He goes up to Gethsemane to pray. And each time he comes down, the disciples are asleep and he gets angry. The reality is it doesn't matter, but he takes offense. In his eyes, he knows his time is drawing short. It's just before the betrayal. But in their defense, he left them to sit while he prayed. So what's so horrible about falling asleep? You ever watch a comedian? The whole place interrupts with laughter. And later you tell the same joke. It's just not that funny. Part of the reason a joke works for the comedian is the energy that is transmitted around the room. Because people come to a comedy show with positive energy. They're expecting to laugh. And therefore the world provides. Their view of the world in that moment is fun. That energy and expectation is a comedian's best friend. I remember every now and then, local clubs would invite comics in for a contest to see who's the funniest. And it was good for the club, but it was horrible for the comedians. Because we all knew the energy of the room would be different. It was no longer about each person being funny. It was about the audience casting judgment. They either liked you or they did not like you. They had to compare instead of just enjoy. But a regular show, it's just a wonderful sharing of positive energy. And when the comedian acknowledges this energy, it builds more. There's so many times that I would break character because I was moved by the response of the audience. And I would acknowledge that. And in turn, they would applaud and thank me. Folks, love is an energy. Love of others flows, but so does love of self. I often talk about our loving ourselves and that we are perfect beings. I so much want for everyone to internalize this because this side of love is like no other place. When you're on this side of love, you never want it to leave. It's like the best vacation ever. And we transmit that energy. We are born from love into love. We are the image of God, which is love and wisdom. So love is half of it. You know, there are several ways I get to that concept that the image of God is love and wisdom. But the easiest connection to that thought is I think that each person has commonalities. And what are they? Well, the first thing is I see it on the face of everyone. I see the face of love. I see the face of wisdom. If we all have that same commonality, then that must be the image of God. And that is what each one of us can emanate. That's our energy. You know, evil is not a force. It's a turning away from this love. And we've seen both sides of energy. We witnessed the January 6th riots. We've witnessed the energy that shows during national tragedies or heroic stories. You know, I'm going to talk a couple weeks ago about the boys' soccer team and that world energy that came together to make that happen. Our energy is what drives the day for us. It's what we present in each moment. Energy has a feel to it. Each moment has a feel. The energy sitting in a pond, drinking a cup of coffee in the morning is different from the energy that you may have with someone in a happy conversation But the commonality is love is present in those moments. Conversely, our negative energy carries with us and to others. Gossip, talking behind another's back, blaming others. Words matter. They carry long after their sound has dropped away. And usually when we do this, it's about us, not the other person. What kind of energy do you want to transmit? Our energy is that field around us. It's a vibration. In the same sense, when we pray for another, our energy flows to them. When we think or talk negatively about another or about the world, it transmits. It flows to them as well. And you can feel it in your interactions with them in the future. What kind of energy do you want to add at any moment? It's the story of the woman who washes Jesus' feet. And it's a long story. One of the Pharisees asked Jesus to eat with him. So Jesus went to the Pharisee's house and sat at the table. A sinful woman in town learned that Jesus was eating at the Pharisee's house. So she bought an alabaster jar of perfume and stood behind Jesus at his feet, crying. She began to wash his feet with her tears, and she dried them with her hair, kissing them many times and rubbing them with the perfume. When the Pharisee who asked Jesus to come to his house saw this, he thought to himself, if Jesus were a prophet, he would know that this woman touching him was a sinner. Jesus said to the Pharisee, whose name was Simon, I have something to say to you. Simon the Pharisee said, Teacher, tell me. Jesus said, 2 people owed money to the same banker. One owed 500 coins, the other owed 50. They had no money to pay what they owed, but the banker told them both they did not have to pay them. Which person will love the banker more? Simon the Pharisee answered. He said, I would think it'd be the one who owed him the most money. Jesus turned to Simon and said, You are right. Then Jesus turned toward the woman and said to Simon, Do you see this woman? When I came into your house, you gave me no water for my feet, but she washed my feet with her tears, and she dried them with her hair. You gave me no kiss of greeting, but she has been kissing my feet since I came in. You did not put oil on my head, but she poured perfume on my feet. I tell you that her many sins are forgiven. So she showed great love. But the person who is forgiven for only a little will love only a little. Then Jesus said to her, Your sins are forgiven. See, the man came with ego. This lady came with love. Jesus reminded them of the love that she injected into the room. Jesus looks at things in its true light and does not cast blame. He recognizes the positive energy of that situation. You know, Tracy is my facilitator today. And if you ever notice, she always casts a positive energy. She has the ability to enjoy in the moment and to laugh. And that energy flows even when she's not around. So for Tracy's energy, I'm going to inject a corny joke. This weasel walks into a bar, asks the bartender for a glass of whiskey. Bartender says, we don't give alcohol to weasels. And the weasel says, okay, then I would like a glass of wine. Bartender says, again, we don't give alcohol to weasels. The weasel goes, all right, I'll have a beer. And the bartender says, you're not getting it. We don't give alcohol to weasels. can you pick anything that doesn't have alcohol? So, pop goes the weasel. Tracy, that's my corny joke. We've been watching our son's dog, Elvis, all week. When he's here, the energy in our house is different. Because the dog is always happy. Want to go for a walk? Yep. Want to sit? Yep. Want to do anything? Yep. And that tail wags. And imagine a dog does that with very little thought. Imagine the kind of energy that we can add to the world with the thought capacity that we have. Make your words matter when nobody's around to hear them. Think positive things. Drop the excuses why things didn't go according to plan and focus on why they do. I certainly did not want COVID this week, but I'm so thankful it wasn't 2 years ago. COVID for me today means I get a lot of sleep. We grill a lot. We relax. It means I have a reason to veg out in front of the TV. We get to add our energy into any moment. And in that, we get to shape our lives and hopefully add to the lives of those around us. We get to be the miracle workers in our own lives. Do you think that sinful woman didn't feel a miracle when Jesus said your sins are forgiven? Because he was telling her, in essence, your past does not define you. That you are perfect in each new moment. Folks, when you're down and to hear something like that and feel it, it feels like a miracle. What if he had said nothing or waited till she left and then said, that's not my type of oil? Or said to her face, really, you're going to dry my feet with your hair? What kind of miracle would that have been? Katie's mom and Casey spent their time with their kids, encouraging them to believe, to look at the positive and to expect it. They have bad days. I'm sure they do. We all do. But Bo knew he was going to Ireland to meet the love of his life. Katie wanted an Irish guy, but wanted someone who loved Maine. Bo's bloodline runs through Ireland. He is as Irish as they come. He has relatives who are Irish who live there. But Bo is connected to Maine. That part of energy was put out long ago, and that was what was manifested. Katie's mom and Casey made sure this would happen long ago because they taught their kids how to dream and how to be the miracle. We all create miracles in our lives and in others, or we destroy them. We are exactly where our choices have put us. And by that, I mean you're either in happy energy or you're not in happy energy. But we get to choose the energy that we transmit. And I'd like to take this moment and take the positive energy that we have. And I'd like to pray for others. At any moment, there are those in the world who are trying to be brave to just take the next step. And at the same time, there are those who take the next step easily. We want to reach out to the whole world, to our local community, and to the world, and send that energy out. So if you're thinking of someone and you're comfortable, type their name in the comment box. If you're not comfortable typing in their whole name, their initials, or at minimum, a heart emoji. And I always say, if you want the fastest way for a prayer to land is to reach out to that person and just tell them, that they're loved, that you care for them. Hold these people in your consciousness. Send your positive energy out to them. Reaffirm with health and wholeness and light their highest, best, perfect nature. We see them in true glory. And we take these names, and we take the ones on the prayer list, and we pray over them during the week and for the next 30 days. We also send them to Silent Unity, where we pray for those, and they get prayed for 30 days. And I also incorporate them into a prayer service I do with Unity of Anderson on Wednesday of each month, or of each week. Prayers land. I know this. I am living proof of this, and I hope you are as well. There's another prayer that we do. It's the prayer of affirmations and tithes. We're not in person this week, so there's nothing to go around, but I encourage you to go to our website. There is the Tithely button. It is what keeps us moving forward and taking the steps. In those steps, we reach out in the community. We're trying to build the base at home, but we're trying to make our fingerprints within the community and the country. We give 10% of everything to something that inspires us each month. Sometimes it's national, sometimes it's within Unity, sometimes it's within our community. But this is what allows this to happen. This allows growth. So I really do encourage you to go to unityoftheseacoast.org and click on that Tithely button. Unless we're raising each other, we're only living half a life. So I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. Place your right hand over your heart. Repeat the affirmation of tithes and offerings. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. And so it is. I'm going to finish the service before we move to the final song with the Prayer of Protection by James Dillett Freeman. The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you. The presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. And we are richly blessed.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, oneness all are we. In love we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace has begun with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, the truth is my joy is found. To live each moment in love, each moment in peace, eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun